Happy weekend, everybody. We are in the midst of what should be a weekend of very good racing. Now, we are recording on a Friday for all of weekend's racing, which will exclude what should have been part of a double header on Saturday. That is racing coming through from PMB. Peter Maritzburg, Hollywood Bets, Scottsville has been postponed. And I can tell you that after enduring 32 millimeters of rain overnight, that is Thursday into Friday, more rain is expected. So the better part of wisdom has seen them postpone the meeting to Wednesday, which is appropriate. We had no meeting that had been scheduled for that day, so that we'll see our week work continue quite nicely. So Scottsville, scheduled for the 15th, has now moved to the 19th of March. Wherever you are, I bid you a warm welcome to our show, and I also bid you a warm welcome on behalf of our denizen, our resident expert, our tipster, our what can we call him? Hopefully he's not grumpy this morning. A very good morning to you.
Guesser. I'm guessing in the first leg of the passport says I'm going to be...
Well, he is grumpy, I can confirm. How are you doing, Daryl?
Good, and you, thank you.
Okay, thanks. Good racing. Hopefully
Yes.
the elements hold up. Lots of rain, which is very much welcome. And let's hope that we have had our fair share of the electric storms. Rain, it can be with us all along, but the electric storms are our problem up here.
Yeah, I think the track can handle it, especially the standside track. Let's just hope the lightning stays away. By now, because we are previewing race 2, we'll know if the first favourite has won. One Fine Winter, because she represents the exact same form line as this favourite, Tina Lovelace. I've opted to bank her in the opening leg of the bipod. Lovely debut. I know it was a congested finish, but I think that form line is really going to hold up. I think there's some nice sorts in there. And she actually finished ahead of a winner in that race. Opera Fan, nice improvements in her second start. A little bit wary about that form line. There have been 2 disappointments from there. Crystal Grove and Emerald Forge. Let's see if there's money for number 4, Hot Cocoa. Now, we remember, damn, she ran second in the Summer Cup. Trained by Paul Peter.
Yes, that was, of course, the back horses involved in Fort
yeah.
Amber, yes.
So follow the market with regards to her chances. I'm bankering number 8.
Okay, and of course, there's a full sister to Hearts on Fire, who's lightly raced, won at the third time of asking racing for the full for the Lucky Udalaka stable, this Hot Cocoa, so we must watch the money. Lucky ownership, I think that goes without saying.
Where's Lucky Udalaka's?
Lucky Udalaka's horse, Hearts on Fire, is the full sister to Hot Cocoa.
Hearts on Fire, okay,
Yeah. And of course, now, as we round off, there's your selections. Let's hope Yentl, in the same colours as Charming Cheetah, doesn't come and blow everybody away. That's your bipod, starting with race number 2, and that's an off time of 5 minutes to 1. Now into that place accumulator, we should be underway with the race number 3 at Turffontein Saturday at 1:30. It is a play soccer 6, 10 and 13. Maiden plate over the 1600 meters, and the form lines, well, if form lines are anything to go by, the penultimate form line of your odds-on favorite is good enough to win this race, and that is number 2, Apache Chief. Now, had that first run on the Highveld on that particular day, the 23rd of Jan. The winner then was, of course, the recent Derby trial winner, and that goes by the name Immediate Edge, who's got big things in mind at the beginning of July, according to the trainer and the post-race interview. But anyway, Apache Chief is reunited with Gavin Arena. He retains the ride, 2 from 2 in terms of seconds. Can it be one better in race number 3, Mr. Murray?
Absolutely. There's a form update here for number 3, Sovereign Crown. Actually failed to finish the race. It ran a distance behind. I think he walked over the line.
Yeah.
He's currently at 9-2. If he stands his ground and he lines up on Saturday, I expect him to start in the region of 14-1. He can't be fancied on that run. He'll blow out. I think this favourite's actually a good price for your multiples and trebles and all to comes. I think he should be a 1-6 shot, to be quite frank. Lack of opposition of here. Cronus, lovely debut. I think he's crying out for the extra. But how can you fancy him on his latest 2 starts? I mean, he finished 8th out of 10th. Very disappointing. And then last time out, a stone last. I mean, that gives you no confidence whatsoever. Gavin must have got off Apache Chief last time out and said, you know what, try him with cheek pieces. Yeah, I think this is a steering job.
Okay, so Apache Chief, and that is it, open and shut case. Cronus over the ground, maybe improve?
Most certainly, but
Happy
I
with the
mean,
two.
he's disappointed.
Okay, unforgiving is Mr. Marie. Bank of the two, as you heard there, and that's our only bank on the place accumulator. 432 Rand is the outlay, and we should be off with that first leg at 1:30. We stay with the maidens as we get into that first leg of the Pick 6 race number 4. By the way, we're racing on the stand side track. We have a feature coming up, and it will be quite a quite a strong field, and quite a big field for the feature of the renewal of our feature race 7. But let's stay with the maiden company race number 4, 1600 meters the trip, and there are improvers in the race who are bound to fight it out, and one of them is this 8 Aurora Green in the colors of the turffontein. Nominee Mrs. Jessica Gell. It is bred by the Vilkelbos Drift and turffontein. It's a give me the green light out of a trippy mare Fanny, and a Muzi retains right after a very improved second behind a Ghost Buster, and that form line is quite prevalent in the race. The 5 Flight Light was further behind and was actually your favorite in that race, and also in that race was the 11 Matiazzo. Andrew Fortune gets the ride for the stable of David Nieuwenhuizen. The fourth race on a jet plane, still to come good for me. Well bred. What is it? Candy. What is that horse that St. John Gray had? A very, very good race. Candy Girl or something like that.
Yeah, what
won a
was
few
her
group
name?
features. I'll get the name. But
I know who you're thinking
yeah.
of, sis.
But on a jet plane, could be improving, or are you looking at the
Yeah.
upper echelons of the betting?
Yeah, she's got a chance. She now steps up to a mile.
Yes.
Yeah, let's see how she goes. Her dam won over a mile. Ronnie's
Yes.
Candy.
Ronnie's Candy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Striker sticks with her. She's going to strip fitter. You know, originally I had the entire field in my pick 6, but the perm came into the region of 9,000, so far too costly.
Yeah.
For that reason, I've only ended up with my PA and my bipod was his numbers 1, 3, and 8. Now, you were touching on number 8, Aurora Green.
Yes.
I've watched her in her 2 starts today. She's still very, very green and inexperienced. I think she can only come on for those 2 runs. Muzi will need a little bit of luck from that draw. But she's got a lot of scope. Number 3, Nkwezi. Lovely effort last time out. You know, at first glance, I thought I'm going to play to beat the Sheets and Goggles form line. But I watched that replay. And she came under pressure around the bend already. The fact that she still ran on all the way to the line was amazing in my mind. I thought she's going to fade away to nothing. So I think being by Rupt, Stains higher, she's going to love the step up in trip, and she's very, very fit. And then the Matias, they put the house on last time out, like the result was known. Very disappointing. However, she did have excuses, and that was over 2,000 meters. We saw a winner from that form line, Hugh Tanango. That was in open company. Now she's back against fillies and mares, back in trip to a mile. I think she's a play over here. I hope we get through.
1, 3, and 8. That
Yeah.
is the bipod.
You know-
And as far as the pick 6,
I do want to just say something. Sorry, says number
sir.
7, Ginger Jam.
yes.
We watched the replay of this filly last time out. She got taken out, and then she found a second breath when she got into her stride once again. She should have finished much, much closer. She's my 4th choice if you do want to add another.
Okay, so that would be 1, 3, 8, and if you do want to add another quote unquote, that is number 7, Ginger Jam. Outlay is 1,728 Rand. 2:05 is your off time to that first leg of the pick 6. On to race number 5 as we navigate our way through a 9-race program at Turffontein. We're on the stand side track for Saturday's racing. Of course, that is the 15th of March. Now, we've got a pinnacle stakes that will see the commencement of Jackpot 1 off at 20-3. It's over the 1,800 meters, and it must be said a very competitive affair. And I'm sure some of the contestants are very much, or most of the contestants, looking at a bigger fish to fry as we progress with our high felt season. And the case in point is the one, a purple pitcher. But asking Mr. Marie now, looking at the 6, I need to just get this out of the way. I always like to get this one out of my system. Are you still of the theory that your favorite Master Christmas doesn't like turpentine?
Not that he doesn't like it. I
But
just think
leaves-
he's better at the ball, at his
okay.
home ground.
So
So
we got
I've
that one out of
ignored
the way.
his chances
So I
once
put the
again.
line as you've
Yeah.
advised.
I'm leaning towards the lightweights, but he's one of them that I've left out. I'm going for numbers 3,
Oh,
4,
Lord.
and 5. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, if you go to the best weighted column, you can see number 2's best in, but only by half a kilogram.
Yes.
What's a ruby?
Yes.
Purple pitcher, in my mind, still prepping for the end of the month. He can win it, but have a look at his latest form line. Radicho was in that very same race. Radicho is as much as 7 kilograms better off. Now you can see Radicho went up 4 pounds. That's the maximum he could have gone up by, according to the conditions of the race. So he ran above his rating. So he's probably the best in over here. Number 3, Radicho. Number 4, Tamarisk Tree is really in solid form at the moment. Can't do anything wrong. Muzi, 50.5, well drawn. Has to be thereabouts. Latest form line, hasn't lit up. Number 5, I loved her comeback effort. You know, here's a filly that had the world at her waist. We really thought that she's going to live up to her sister's performances on the track, but she went wayward. And I'm just hoping that rest has really benefited her, because I loved that effort last time out after a rest. So I've gone 3, 4, 5 in that order.
3, 4, and 5, and there it is, that first leg of Jackpot 1. And again, a reminder, 20-3 is the off time to that 5th race, the 5th of 9. Well represented in race 6 are the colours of the Kaya Stables, the PTY Limited, and what a season they had in the future season just gone by, or at least rounded it off in fine style, winning the Cape Flying Championship with those silks. And they're on the favourite Pomodora's Jet, who's shot up in that merit rating since relocating to the Highveld. And it is Gavin Arena who retains right after that very good win ahead of the likes of Chestnut Bomber. The other in those silks, and that next win has to come about sooner rather than later. Very good 2 and 3-year-old. Give Me Another Chance will be part of by Andy Fortune. Maybe some Candyman magic may just come through there. But we leave it to our tipster. He is the man who's got all the keys. And talking about keys, we've got a bottom weight carrying 52 key element.
Yes, now best weighted in this lineup is Captain Peg. She's a kilogram ahead of Pomodora's Jet, Give Me Another Chance, Key Elements. Now, Pomodora's Jet, you touched on the fact that he really got a hefty penalty for his latest win. We know Truth has won twice from there. Texas Red was in that race. He came out and ran a place in the Horse Chestnuts, the Grade 1.
Second, I think.
Yeah, with the two runs with the fitment of the cheek pieces, he's absolutely bolted up on both occasions. I can see him winning. Give Me Another Chance. On the other hand, his ratings come down. He's right down to a 109. He really should get the run of the race. Going to strip fitter. I think he's going to run a blind over here. I think this race is really going to be run to suit, because Pomodora's Magic and Ikigai are two potentially that are going to push forward.
Pomodora's Jet.
Yeah, sorry, Pomodora's Jet. I've only gone those two in my pick 6, but because of the cost of it, I eliminated number 6. However, in my jackpot, I added Night Bomber. 2 lovely runs for his new stable on the Highveld. Now been stepped up in trip. I know he's got a lot to do and he's out at the weights. But if he's any better over this sort of distance, let's see how he goes. So 1 and 2 to fight it out. The 6 is the backup in the jackpot.
Okay, and maybe the double, the Baron Bortus Lerinasta double. Radicia on to Knight of Bomber, Mr. Murray.
For those braver players, yeah.
Like your good self. There it is, jackpot 2, outlay 288 Rand. Right, we spoke about the feature on the afternoon, the highlight of the afternoon. It is the 2025 renewal of the 4 Racing Sycamore Sprint. 1160 is a trip, just worth updating you on the changes. Poblano, unfortunately, has been scratched, was meant to be representing the 3-year-old brigade. And that means that one of the 3-year-olds who had no jockey declared is now chance ride for the jockey who was meant to ride Poblano, and that's Mr. Muzieni. And we're talking about a Komati River in the colours of Advocate Joubert, and that goes for 3 wins on the trot, but a mighty leap of faith going into this particular race. It's the stable companion that tops the boards. That's the 2 Almond C, and that will have Gavin Larina riding retaining the ride after that narrow victory in the Swallow Stakes. And who else is there to consider as far as the fancied runners are concerned? Well, then you'd have to look at the likes of the 4 Miamu back on the high felt after what were 2 decent efforts in the Western Cape for Miamu, now racing in the colours of ISSA, IT and Business Solutions, but it's the colours of the World Sports Betting, their partners.
Yeah, her latest 2 efforts have really been encouraging, Miamu. And one thing is for certain, she goes well over this course and distance. She's very fit. I expect her to be right on top of them. Now, a filly who won last time, despite everything going wrong, is number 2, Almond C. I mean, punters had their hearts in their mouths in the Betway Swallow Stakes. All went wrong at the start, and she still managed to get the better of Poblano.
Mm-hmm.
In her favour that day was a small field. And you can see in her last couple of starts, she's had a tendency to give away ground at the start. So I'm concerned. If she comes out slowly in a big field like this, she may have traffic issues. But I'll give her a strong winning chance. I just think she's a little bit skinny in the market. Elegant Ice, you can see going back to the R-Star run, actually beat Almond C. But that day, Almond C did have excuses. But Elegant Ice on her day, she's a cracking filly, this says.
Oh, very much so. Very much so.
Then you have to go down to number 14, Calantha. Another filly that really goes well over this course and distance. She's in fine form, no weight to shoulder. However, she needs luck from that draw. But if she gets it, she will be right there. And if you're going wider, have a look at number 3, Exchange Student. Go back to that run. Where was it? R-Star. Have a look at the weights over there. She's really well in over here. And the blinkers come off. So I think that's the reason I'm willing to put a line through her latest start. Her penultimate start was a lovely effort beyond Dreamland. So if you're looking for a nice upset for trifectas and quartets, number 3, Exchange Student. I played a trifecta box of, I think we will show a profit if we do catch it.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 14 are the horses in that trifecta box, and we cross fingers it does come through. Poblano, please be reminded. Number 5 is a scratching Muzieni on the 15 Komati River. Right, getting on to the final leg of the first jackpot and the last chance to get involved in a double at Turffontein for Saturday's racing on the stand side track. Please be aware of the scratching of the 6 Damo Star, recently relocated to the Famulan stable, will not be taking part in proceedings due to a slight setback in training. So 8 runners face up, and looking at a fillies and mares 103 divided handicap over the 1400 meters, a very strong hand for Mike de Kock. He's got Andy Fortune on the one Mary's Green Light, who's likely to go off as a favourite, and he's also got the less exposed number 8 Oxalis Gold, and this is where you come in, Mr. Marie, reunited with Kabela Matsunyane, who has been aboard Oxalis Gold, a 3-year-old daughter of Gold Standard.
Yeah, I think he's going to grab this opportunity with both hands, says. She's a lovely filly. She's way better than her current form. And I liked her latest comeback efforts. We're going to watch that replay now. And you'll see she ran all the way to the line. And you know, Patricio David Lamin, the assistant to Mark de Kock,
Yeah.
made it clear that this filly is in need of this run. So I think this race would have brought her on substantially. And I really like her chances out at Turffontein on Saturday.
David is actually very much on the mark when he tells you about the well-being of the horses. I remember with immediate effect, he was very much in the horses ready. I says, might not need the race. He said, no, the horse is ready. And we've seen since then the results. But as you say, Solus Gold, we should see a bit of Solus Gold's last run. And that was behind the useful Sonic Jet. Good to see Corey Lensley has a useful one on his hands in the form of a Sonic Jet. And of course, whilst we wait that queue up of the rerun, condolences to the stable of Corey Lensley on the loss of one of their patrons, his wives. In fact, she was a patron in her own right, Mrs. Victor.
Yeah,
Very
really
sad news indeed.
What
Yeah,
their
very.
family's been through is
Yeah, that's
heartbreaking.
very sad indeed. But we carry them in our thoughts, and there is, of course, in the familiar silks of the Dragonstein, that is going to be number 8, Solus Gold.
Yeah, look how gamely she was staying on towards the end of the year. And I'd go as far as saying that she would have gone a little bit closer if it was a little bit further. She was staying on slightly towards the end. I like the bottom weights of here. I respect number 9, My Lady Soul, DJ Jazzy D. You know, in the computer form it says 0 from 6, but take note, that form line has really stood up nicely. There have been a lot of horses that have run second in their next starts. The second, third, fourth, and fifth all ran second. Frozen Fantasy thereafter won. Obviously, the top weights have got chances. Mary's Green Light, they're more exposed. And Just Be Lacquer, you can just put a line through her last start. She never looked comfortable in running. Samanga knows what she's about, and she's back around the bend. But I'm leaning towards numbers 8 and 9 in that order.
Just a quick word, I know, and I'm not in any way trying to be contrary. The 4 Soldier's Eye, what would you rate? How would you rate Soldier's Eye this race?
I wouldn't be surprised if she comes and blows me out the water with my trifecta. But she's definitely got a chance.
Thank you so much. But of course, we're looking at Solus Gold in the colours of Owner Breeders Dragonstein. So that'll be race 8, Saturday clock number 8. Part of that trifecta box 1, 2, 8, and 9. From Affiliates and Mayors 103, we come down to Affiliates and Mayors 83 for the conclusive event on Saturday, 1400 meters a trip to race 9 at Turffontein. And here we've got a next race, Turffontein, a race meeting Thursday, the 20th of March, and a very competitive affair. But last time out, seen a winning, an overdue win for the 5 Roaming Spirit. And when talking to the trainer afterwards, that was when Mike was still solo. Of course, it is Mike and Matthew de Kock now. Roaming Spirit shows a lot more than we've actually seen, and that is only a frightening proposition for the opponents. At 18 to 10 or thereabouts, Gavin Arena retains the ride, and that is the 5 Roaming Spirit. Expected to give a bit of cheek would be the 3 Golden Moment from the informer Sean Terry stable. I think we just saw that form line in our replay in the preceding race. The Sonic Jet form line finished second at 2.20 lengths behind Sonic Jets. And then I don't know what to make of the 4 except Cookies, Mr. Marie. That's next best in the betting.
Yes, now Roaming Spirit. She won the following race after that incident with Gavin Lorena and Jason Gates. It was a very, very smooth victory on her behalf, but we expected her to win in that manner. The field lacked depth.
And the form line going into that race was so powerful.
So, but go back in her form line. I mean, she's run behind Danton, from Sanson, Poblano, Fastnet, Philly, Hong Kong, all above average fillies.
Yeah.
So she's lightly raced and she should go very close over here. Now, you touched on Golden Moments and Accept Cookies. We watched that replay in the previous insert, the Sonic Jet replay. They both represent that form line, and let's hope Oxalis Gold has done that form line justice. Looks like Accept Cookies is going to get a smoother running transit this time around because she's got a neater draw. But Golden Jets made good improvements in her second run after rest. She should be running on towards the
Golden Moment.
Golden Moment, yeah, towards the latter end. And Accept Cookies, Muzi knows her better in a race this time round. A filly that's really done well post maiden is Mocha Macaroon.
I'm looking at that.
I mean, a
Against
third,
Donna Jet comes into play indirectly, eh?
yeah, so she's my fourth pick for my trifectas and quartets. So once again, if we catch it, let's hope we make a slight profit. I don't think I can put my head on a block over here. I think it's very competitive.
Okay. Right, that is the Mr. Marie's thoughts 3, 4, 5, and 6, and they do look to be the ones that should find out that finish. Thank you very much to Mr. Marie. We know all the hard work that goes in to putting together these selections for our Awaited to Win show, proudly brought to you by Betway.